Part 1, Question 1, Article 6, whether sacred doctrine is the same as wisdom. I guess it all depends on what your definition of wisdom is. How about this one? The quality of having experience, knowledge, and good judgment. Not just knowledge, but also good judgment. In Latin, the word is sapientia, wisdom, discernment, memory, science, skilled practice. Does studying the Bible make one wise? Or is it just a bunch of fairy tales? Or does religion, as some people claim, does it do the opposite of make you wise? Does it make you more violent, more apt, they say, to be a terrorist? For an authority, Thomas cites Moses. This law, or this Torah, is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of nations. Not only is the study of Revelation one possible path to wisdom, but it is a privileged path, a path that others will notice and respect. By the fruits they will know it. The first objection is one we've heard before. Theology uses philosophy. It seems to be a use of wisdom, not the source of wisdom. Second objection, wisdom or creative genius spawns new sciences and new industries. Theology doesn't. Third objection, it comes from the opposite angle. Wisdom is a divine gift, not a result of human effort. So wisdom would be too great a thing to get from merely reading about theology. Thomas replies by focusing on the definition of wisdom. It is prudence or right judgment. But who says whether a decision is right or wrong? Well, let's use the analogy. Thomas uses the analogy of a construction site. Builders are cutting wood and stone, but the architect has the overall plan for the house in his mind or in the blueprints, and therefore the architect has the responsibility to oversee the activities of all the other men. That is wisdom, judging and directing the parts in light of the whole. You judge the parts in light of the whole. You could frame a beautiful window. You could frame it expertly, but if you put it in the wrong place, your skill is wasted. Quote, he who considers absolutely the highest cause of the whole universe, namely God, is most of all to be called wise. Theology is where that is done. And I, for one, get frustrated hearing really intelligent people, but then there's a question about where their expertise in this field or that field, where that combines together to living a good life, or combines or reflects on a higher topic, and it's clear they've never once thought about higher questions. So yes, theology uses rationality, uses reason, but as a tool and not as an end. Notice how Thomas repeatedly through the Summa will defend both theology and reason, both valid, both good, but it is not theology's job to create new sciences. It's theology's job to judge the new sciences. Here Thomas approaches that topic of the two truths. Can one thing be true in science and something else in theology? You believe one thing about the universe for 6 days a week, and then on Sunday you believe something else. That's not possible, according to Thomas. Quote, whatsoever is found in other sciences contrary to any truth of theology must be condemned as false. The theologian is not waiting around for the scientist to validate divine revelation. The theologian is not scared that the scientist will disprove any piece of divine revelation. Truth does not contradict truth. And when the politician uses the scientist as an excuse to do something immoral, it is up to the theologian to fight back. The theologian is the only one who can. But as we've seen before, individuals can disagree with one another, disagree about moral and religious claims. How then would the theologian know which conclusion is correct? Well, one way is the divine gift of wisdom, in which God gives the virtuous person the inclination towards the good, a habit of just judgment. Wisdom can also, however, be the result of the moral sciences. Another place where I'm disappointed and frustrated is an expert in a field, and then you hear about some sort of scandal in their moral life. We know instinctively that if you dedicate yourself to true wisdom, you cannot be living that sort of double life. So, is sacred doctrine the same as wisdom? Yes, it is.